Good morning, everyone. 20th of February, this is the pre-market outlook discussion. Hope everyone had a good observation in yesterday's trend. As predicted and discussed with you all, that 25,740 below close happened and 25,449 break also occurred. With intention, that is what we needed. The decisive close, what we have discussed was happened in yesterday's move. Yesterday's move, not just a signal-based movement, it also a carnage for those who have recently bought the positions or built the positions on one side. Based on that mayhem happened in the Indian markets in yesterday's scenario, probability will be very high for the next leg of correction getting formed. But the clarity and the confirmation yet to be awaited, because the 25,449, that also the interim behavior shift zone after 25,740. So 1 day of decisive close, 25,740 below happened. As per our concept, consecutive 2 days is required. So in that manner, a decisive close, even though last week it has experienced, because of the lack of follow-through actions, it could not make a continuity. So that only we have stressed the point of decisiveness in the close is required for making the direction on the same side where it is giving a confirmation like. So if it is so, the yesterday's close, of course, a decisive one based on the 25,740 below concept. And in case if it is closing below the same point, additionally, if it is 25,449 below, means the second consecutive day, we can take it for granted as a confirmation based on 25,740. And the second day of consecutive close for 25,449 would be required in addition to that 25,740 confirmation. So by coupling these two levels and two levels actions follow through by the way of getting a very strong confirmation rather than getting a normal one. So that would be going to be a bigger issue for the markets if the confirmation like that, if it is getting for that tomorrow, that means the Monday's one also will be needed. If it is so, the NIFTY and Sensex can be expected to correct and retest the 24,700, which was recently recorded as a corrective phase of low. After that, the recovery was happened about 2,000 points. So that can be expected to retest based on the Monday's trade, where we can see the confirmation on 25,449 below, whether it is happening or not. For that, it should happen today and consecutively on Monday. If it is not closing below the 25,449 in today's trade, the cautiousness will be increasingly continued. But the additional confirmation, what we are seeing closing below 25,449 is required to form a very strong and a bigger rally on the downside with a correction point of almost 3 to 5% we can expect within a short-term period, may be happening within a 2 to 3 weeks of period. So that can be seen based on Monday's one. By discussing the positional wise behavior for the NIFTY, today the trend is expected to move cautiously, much higher cautiousness. So it should be. So in that manner, the opening trend for the NIFTY would be expected in the way a flat to cautious approach. So after opening, the trend would be continuing with a range-bound volatility, with a sell on rise strategy. The 25,700 now become as resistance, which was the support earlier. So all the clouds, how it is forming, you just observe it. So the downward intention is there. The points and all getting broken. The closing based levels and all occurring. So how this circumstances actually revealing the fact of the behavior now. What that fact means? The intensity is increasing for the downward trend, but the clarity and the confirmation are awaited till the Monday's one as discussed. Until then, today one can actually, by adopting sell on a rise approach, by treating 25,700 near, if it is coming, you can build the short positions or exit the long positions if already any built. And breaking below 25,449 in during the any time frame you can take, particularly for the large time frame, if it is getting closed below 25,449 means this is going to be a earlier signal, advanced signal that the probability may be getting increased for the daily close also below the same point. So where we can actually get the confirmation for the day's trade, which can be utilized for making further transaction on the same direction. So for that, the 25,449 should be watched out. In case if it is doing so, we can expect 25,100 is the next meaningful support the Nifty can see. Between that, no meaningful supports are there. Very minor supports are there, but that may not be protecting the fall. That is what the analysis we can have. And if it is sustaining above 25,449 means fragile bounces we can expect. No a sharp recovery with a positive intention we can see, but the fragile bounces, sharp bounces can be expected towards the 25,700 zone. That's it for the Nifty's levels and strategy wise we can discuss now. On the positional front, until a decisive close consecutively 2 days about 25,740 occurs, every meaningful rise can be utilized by the traders for initiating short positions or accumulating further on the short side, along with reducing the long positions. From the sectors front, major sectors, because in yesterday's carnage happened, no, in all the way the sectors got the negative behavior and closed in the red. Amongst the many, the major sectors, heavy-weighted ones starting with the banking and finance would be weighing on in today's trend also. If the yesterday's low, this is the important point I just missed to make you all aware that in case if the yesterday's low protected by the Nifty and Sensex or Bank Nifty, Midcap Nifty, in all the way you can take. Yesterday's low, as long as getting protected or hold, the sharp bounces can be expected. First level of 25,700, even above to that also can be seen. If it is so, today and Monday's one would be on the recovery side we can expect. But it should not break even once below the yesterday's low. And after banking, finance, real estate would be in the high concentrated trading actions. Then automobile, pharmaceuticals for the long builders, particularly positional investors who can actually concentrate on pharmaceutical oriented stocks. IT, this upside recovery and all, not a favorable one for the traders who are actually inclined with the IT stocks recovery like. So the IT stocks probably attracting the selling if it is trying to move further high. FMCG also, along with the pharmaceutical, one can focus for building long positions and not for intraday, it may be suitable. So FMCG is now consolidating with a weak bias. It should actually attract many or plenty of volume to move higher. Anyway, it would be better for focus on this FMCG oriented stocks for positional trade. On the stocks front, including news-based one and one stock based on the earnings for the December ended quarter. Oil India based on technical behavior, ONGC also based on the technical behavior, ABB India based on the quarterly earnings, Vari Energies, Texmaco Rail, Railtel Corporation, these are all based on news, and Datamatics Global Services based on technical behavior. So one can follow these stocks for the day trading opportunities which may have or which may provide higher chances for trading on them. Keeping stop loss is very vital one for the traders, particularly for the day traders. Don't forget to do that. So that's it from today's pre-market discussion we can have. If it is giving a bigger movement based on the levels, you can take a chance for building shorts or concentrating on the selling side than the long side. Long side bounces and all can be utilized to reduce the long positions only, not for building the new one. Don't forget this. Have an opportunistic day. Thank you. Bye-bye.